one of the most loved characters in the Dragon Ball fanbase. Back in the day, this guy was someone to fear at who brought us probably the most epic fight in the whole Dragon Ball history. And we are talking about Piccolo, the reincarnation of Piccolo Daimao. Piccolo's history through the Dragon Ball is quite interesting, and somewhat Dragon Ball Super or even the last arc of the Dragon Ball Z did somehow kill off his badass character. And that is not cool. Now let's go through Piccolo's time in Dragon Ball and see how much he has actually given to the plot and how an important character this guy has been. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications enabled. Also, like this video if you enjoyed, so I know if I should do more of these such nostalgic things. Now let's begin. Piccolo on the original series. That was the beginning of this character after a very dark arc with Piccolo Daimao and all of the struggle that the world in general went through. We got used to a world in a true danger afterwards, but this was what set the dark tone in the Dragon Ball. This was something all different. Even though I feel like Toriyama could have done a bit more with it, it was still a very solid arc that did lead into probably the best arc of the Dragon Ball after. 23rd, Tenkaichi Budokai was the beginning of Piccolo Jr. We see some shots here and there of young Piccolo, but in general it was all set up to be something much bigger. Goku was already possibly the strongest guy in the world. I'm talking about the Dragon Ball. At that time, no Z, no aliens, nothing, just Dragon Ball. Goku went on to train with Mr. Popo and Kami. He learned new tricks and was stronger than ever before. But his enemy was someone really amusing that you would love to avoid fighting. Piccolo Jr. was there to take revenge for his father and continue on his road. World domination. Piccolo and Goku make their way into the final without many problems, even though Tenshinhan was kinda problematic for Goku, and Kami proved to be quite a challenge for Piccolo Jr., but still, none of those was really something compared to the final. It was time for the final, which even up to this date still stands as the best Dragon Ball fight that I have ever seen. Literally every fight in a nutshell there. Everything that you want to see is on it. It is as gory as it can get, and if you like gore, boy, you will enjoy that. Different techniques, and you don't even know who is going to win it. So many changes done there, and that match was truly exceptional, and the end of it was Goku's character really hitting Piccolo hard. And that is actually, of course, Toriyama had decided before what he was going to do with Piccolo, but still, that was when Piccolo's way of thinking changed, just a little. And now let's move on to the Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo on the Saiyan arc. Keep in mind, this guy is still not a good guy when this arc begins. Raditz, who was an alien, approached Earth to take Kakarot with him, but was found really surprised. But yet, he was so strong. Raditz forced Goku and Piccolo to team up with each other to take him down. And Piccolo really at this moment there, as he was able to take out two birds with one stone. Goku sacrificing himself really did make Piccolo enjoy himself, even though he knew he needed him afterwards. And now it was time for another change in Piccolo's life. Goku did somehow have an impact on Piccolo, but it wasn't fully. Not until Goku's son Gohan was taken away to be trained by Piccolo to unleash his unbelievable potential. Piccolo is not someone to take easy, and it was a confirmation there. But his time with Gohan really did change his evil ways. Not completely yet, but even up to this day, Gohan is still very precious to Piccolo. His sacrifices for Gohan are becoming a meme nowadays, but when they first happened and their relationship with each other was still getting developed, it was really special and touchy, especially after you see Piccolo in Dragon Ball and his drastic change in Dragon Ball Z. Let's not forget that on this arc, Piccolo truly learned what he is and who he is. He was an Namekian. Yeah, same with Goku, who found out he was a Saiyan. But still, now let's go with Piccolo on his homeland, Namek. The need to protect Gohan, the need to see his homeland and protecting once again pushed Piccolo as he came up with the plan of reviving him and sending him to Namek, immediately using the wish on the Namek Dragon Balls. Piccolo not only gets introduced to his homeland, but on his way to save Gohan from mighty Frieza, he sees another fighter type Namekian who actually had a pure heart. Piccolo and Nail fuse, but Nail's promise that Piccolo's character would not change was a pure lie. Piccolo became someone who really can connect with others when it comes to the feelings. He was appreciating things more, especially for his biggest rival, Goku. Piccolo somewhat is still very useful as he was able to tank Frieza on the second form, and actually he was able to stall for time for Goku to come in the first place, and also for the Spirit Bomb. This arc was all about it. Every character was there to just stall for time until Goku arrives. That's it. And now let's move on to Piccolo in Android and Buu arc. Piccolo cannot fool anyone anymore. He is a good guy and he is going to fight for good. This is something that even the Z fighters recognize it. Piccolo's need to save the world against the androids really pushed him as far as fusing with Kami, something that he was really against for. It was the need to get stronger. Piccolo does exactly that and his character changes fully. And I can say that it was for good. Despite having a good end of the Android Saga and also Cell Saga, Piccolo on the Buu arc is something that I really don't want to see. Not only that he did not get strong, but he was even intimidated by Shen. Yeah, Shen's introduction was quite cool, but man, when you look back at that, his character was really thrown away as he was more like a babysitter for Trunks and Goten. Well, he did teach them the fusion dance and actually sent them to the hyperbolic time chamber, but that's it for Piccolo on this arc. From someone being so useful in a long term, his role was really underwhelmed on this arc. And now let's move on to what is currently happening. Piccolo in Dragon Ball Super. Many of us fans really hoped to see the old Piccolo back here, but we got so disappointed. In Dragon Ball Super, Piccolo has been a real babysitter to Gohan's past. I don't have anything against it because it looks so damn cute when you go over and watch Piccolo's history with Gohan. Still, it is not something that you possibly could see Piccolo do. Not only his character developed for bad, he was not getting strong at all. Someone who surpasses the Saiyans more than once, someone who was able to get stronger than Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta at the beginning of the Androids arc. Now he's pushed like this. The history tells us that it's very hard to keep up with the Saiyans, since they truly are a warrior race and they develop their powers in an incredible pace. But man, Piccolo was doing somewhat a very good job and he truly does not deserve to be on the second tier of the fighters. Piccolo should be up there with Goku and Vegeta since fighting has been something that he truly focused himself on and has strong potential of getting stronger and stronger and stronger ever since the beginning. Piccolo seems to have a limitless potential, just like Goku and the others. It's just that this show is just not working enough with him. Change is not always good, and Piccolo is a big case on this. Now we are on the Tournament of Power, and this was a place for Piccolo to truly shine. Up until now we haven't seen that. He's more like protecting Gohan again because the latter cannot even dodge. And Piccolo is lucky that he can regenerate himself. He still has potential, and if Toriyama decides to change him back to the guy he was, I believe all of us fans would welcome it. Tournament of Power is an opportunity to change him. We have the Universe 6 Namekians there. Piccolo seems to fairly be interested in them, so having him go with the Saiyans, Vegeta and Goku in Universe 6 should be an option as you can truly develop his character. Or maybe just give him a power boost? But please don't do that the way how some characters have gotten power-ups in Super. Show some backstory. Show them earning it instead of just giving it to them. With Piccolo, it should be fairly easy because Piccolo could just absorb the Saiyans from Universe 6 and that's it. Can it be done? Absolutely. How you would implement that, well, I would go like, the Namekians don't have anything left anymore. They are nowhere near strong enough to survive, so Piccolo could be giving them that chance, and do not forget that he's damn good when it comes to convincing people. Literally fool itself into telling his whole story, even though Cell already knew that Piccolo can regenerate himself. He is damn smart, and I believe that this is one of the reasons why he is so much loved within the Dragon Ball fanbase. Could he actually give them a chance to survive and get himself a lot stronger? Yeah, and the power boost the Namek Fusion gives is unbelievable. He would be more than relevant to the show, not anymore a second tier fighter, because he does not deserve that. Of course, to do this it requires a good writing, and Super has really had its problems with writing or even telling the story. It hasn't been as convincing as it should have been, but I believe they can pull this off. Of course, he'll keep some of the traits with him as his relationship with Gohan and Pan and the other Z fighters, but keep him more relevant when it comes to fighting. We were used to see many fighters go to the battlefield, not just Goku and Vegeta. We had, for example, against Android 19 and Android 20, we had Gohan, Krillin, Tien, or Tenshin Han, however you call him. We had Yamcha. Despite these guys not doing that many things, just their presence there, the way, I don't know how Toriyama managed to pull such things off, they were amazing. I just love such kind of things, and I really want to see Dragon Ball take that road again. I know that it is much harder, but that is not a step backwards. You can still move the show forward. I think it requires a better writing. And as for Piccolo, I really love him, and I hope they won't throw him in the dust, but actually keep working on him. Even on Dragon Ball GT, Piccolo did more than he's doing in Super. And if you think about it, what GT did was great with Piccolo, because him sacrificing himself in Earth, yeah, that was touchy and really cool, as well as Piccolo helping Goku get out of the hell where he was stuck on. Okay, GT's way of telling the story is not good, but it has handled some of these side characters quite good. Both Super and GT require a lot of improvement. I'm saying it here, but I still prefer Super. It is much better written, but I will have a video about GT and Super in the upcoming days, so guys, make sure you stay around to check that out, because that is kinda a cool idea, implementing the two universes into one. This was it for this video, guys, and you can continue the discussion in the comments down below. Have a great time.